Everyone talks about someone being their rock. This is going to tell you how much more someone is. I'm probably correct and incorrect on this, but either way, I really don't give a damn. Now on with the show. This is about my wife, the love of my life. She was my right, she was my wrong. She was my hymn, she was my song. She was my up, she was my down. She was my smile, she was my frown. She was my left, she was my right. She was my day, she was my night. She was my stress, she was my relief. She was my best, she was my belief. She was my Bible, she was my church. She was my hobby, she was my work. She was my direction, she was my lesson. She was my guide, she was my blessing. She was my will, she was my want. She was my do, she was my don't. She was my hows, she was my whys. She was the blue in my eyes. She was my wares, she was the one that cares. She was our doctor, she was our nurse, she was my better, she was my worst, she was my drive, she made me feel alive. She was my whole life, she was my wife. She was my food, she was my drink, she was my mood, she was my go, she was my stop, she was everything that I'm not. She was my house, she was my home. She was here, and now she's gone. I promise you, you ain't never felt this alone. So the next time you feel like complaining about your wife, don't. She's your whole damn life.